Hello students, welcome you back in the next lecture of Mathematics 1, that is Algebra. We are continuing with chapter number 4, that is Ratio and Proportion. And in that we were seeing operations on equal ratios. Okay. So from that we are solving practice set 4.3. So let us continue with that. So fifth question there from practice set 4.3 we were solving, and from that question number 4 solve the following equations, and from that we are solving sub question number 5. Okay, so this is little bit different question. You will observe that up you have two brackets but down you don't have any bracket. You are provided with three terms, but if you observe those three terms very carefully, you will find that this is a perfect square. See, 4x square, it's a square of 2x. 9 is square of 3x. You know the expansion a plus b the whole square. A square plus 2ab plus b square. So similar type of expansion you can see this one as 2 into 2x is 4x and 4 into 3 is 12x. So this is of type a square plus 2ab plus b square, where value of a is 2x and value of b is 3. So these three terms we can write as the complete square of 2x plus 3. Okay, so this I am replacing. Can you see this? Now you will observe that this second term here and the denominator is same. Now the next thing is to eliminate the term. So here you will observe that here both the places plus sign is there. So if we subtract, that means if we go for dividendo, this second term will get cancelled from numerator. Okay, so this way you have to decide that which operation you are going to perform. So here we have to go for dividendo. Okay, so by dividendo we can write down the next term as, see, this is numerator. Complete numerator is written in one bracket. You can see here 4x plus 1 the whole square plus 2x plus 3 the whole square minus the denominator, that is 2x plus 3 the whole square, and denominator as it is 2x plus 3 the whole square. Similarly, dividendo we are doing on right hand side also. You know that if we are doing any operation here on the equation, we have to do on both the sides. So here also we are going for dividendo 61 minus 36 upon 36. Okay. Now see, this is plus and this is minus, so the second term will get cancelled and we will get the answer as 4x plus 1 the whole square divided by 2x plus 3 the whole square is equal to 25 upon 36. These two are also perfect squares, and here also we are having squares. So if we take square roots on the both sides, then it will become more simple. So let us take square root on both the sides. Okay, so when we take square root, what we are going to get? 4x plus 1 upon 2x plus 3 is equal to 5 upon 6, because 25 square root is what? 5, and 36 square root is what? 6. Now next thing you know that when if we cross multiply, and we are going to get the value of x. So let us go for cross multiplication here. See, 4x into 6 is 24x and 1 into 6 is 6. Similarly, 2x into 5 is 10x and 3 into 5 is 15. So cross multiplication is done. Now the next step to equate the like terms, okay, or taking like terms on the same side. So let us do that. This 10x we can shift to left hand side and 6 we can shift to right hand side. So what we will get here, 24 minus 10x is equal to 15 minus 6. When you are changing the side, don't forget to change the sign. Plus is going to become minus, and here also plus is going to become minus. Okay, so changing sides is important. So 24 minus 10, you know the answer, it is 14x. Similarly here 15 minus 6 is 9. So from this we can get the value of x as 9 upon 14. Okay. This is how you are going to solve the sum. This was the only difference, that here the like terms were not given. We need to find them. We need to understand and do the particular changes so that you can solve the sum. Please copy it down. Okay, be careful while writing this step. Dividendo, you have to do on both the sides. Be very careful about signs, as I have said repeatedly. In algebra, signs are very important. If your one sign mistake is there, you are going to get wrong. You are going to get all the steps wrong. So please be careful about signs. Okay, let us go further now towards the next question. Question number 6. Okay, this question number 6 you are going to solve by yourself. This question number 6 is similar to question number 3. There you have squares, here you have cubes, but there is one difference. Here you will find that the plus sign is there in denominator and minus sign is there in numerator. So it is not in the form of componendo dividendo. Okay, also you will find that here the bigger number is down in the denominator. Always we want in the form of componendo dividendo, that means plus sign in the numerator. So here the change you have to make, that you have to go for invertendo, so that you will get the ratio or equation in the form of componendo dividendo. Okay, so go for invertendo and you have to reverse it. Okay, now the plus sign is in the numerator and minus sign is in the denominator. Here also we have done on right hand side. Now you will observe that it is similar to question number 3. So you will solve it as homework. You will go for componendo dividendo, then the second term will get cancelled from numerator and first term will get cancelled from denominator, and then you will get perfect cubes here. So in question number 3 you have taken square root. Now you are going to take out cube root and then the cross multiplication, you are going to get the answer. I hope all of you will solve this. So all of you please note down this first step. Without this first step, if you are solving it, you are going to get wrong answer. Please note that. Okay. So this is an important step. So please copy it down and then try to solve by yourself. You need to do the practice. Okay, so let us go further now. We are moving towards the next concept here. Before that, this activity is not there. Take note of this. So cut it. This activity will not be asked for evaluation this year. Okay. So let us go further towards the next concept, that is theorem on equal ratios or theorem of equal ratios. You can use any word, theorem on equal ratios or theorem of equal ratios. So here what does this theorem state is, if we have two ratios A upon B is equal to C upon D, then this each ratio, that means A upon B is equal to A plus C upon B plus D is equal to C plus D. That means this each ratio is same as the ratio that we get after adding the numerators and the denominators. Okay, so this property is called as what? Theorem on equal ratio. So first this is given in the simplified form, that is only for two ratios, but this property is applicable for n number of ratios. You can have here n number of ratios, then also you can add all the numerators in the numerators and denominators in the denominators. Also, you know that the property of equal ratio, that we can multiply and divide the ratio by same non-zero number, then the ratio remains the same. So even after multiplying this ratio and adding, it is going to remain the same. So further, we can generalize this theorem as, see, as I have said, we can have n number of ratios, or we can have finite terms here. Okay. So a upon b is equal to c upon d is equal to e upon f. So in this way you have n number of ratios. And then since three ratios are given here, we are taking three multiples, L, M and N. So here we can multiply both the places by L. Here we can multiply by M. Here we can multiply by N. And then also we can add them. So this each ratio is having the same value here. Please note that it is for finite terms. It is not for infinite terms. As I have said, n number of terms. So here n is finite. So this property is valid for the finite terms. Okay. So this way, this is given for two terms. Simply you can add, or even if you multiply both the places and then you can add them. So this is called as what? General form of the ratio. So this way you have to make use of theorem on equal ratios. All of you please note down this theorem in your notebook. Okay, so I hope you must have completed it. Let us go further towards the solved examples now. From the textbook we are doing first. So from example 1 I am taking question number 2. Okay. Here this is the question asked. X upon 3 is equal to y upon 5 is equal to z upon 4 is equal to 5x minus 3y plus 4z, and here down we have to write down the correct answer. Okay. So we have to make use of the theorem on equal ratios here. So see, you can observe that the numerators are added here, but the numerators here and numerator here, they are different. First of all, we have to get all these numerators. That means we want 5x here. So we are going to multiply both the places by 5. We want minus 3y here. So we are going to multiply both the places by minus 3y. And here we want 4z. So here also we will multiply both the places by plus 4. Okay. So that is our first step, that to get the required numerators here. Whatever you have to see this, observe this, and accordingly you have to do the changes. See, 5x I wanted, so I multiplied both the places by 5. Okay. Then what I want? Minus 3y. So I have to multiply by minus 3 at both the places. Why by minus 3? Because in the theorem we have seen that we can add. Okay. So that is why if minus sign is there, you have to multiply by that minus number only. So here multiplying both the places by minus 3. And here multiplying both the places, numerator as well as denominator, by 4. Okay. Now we have to write down the answers of this. So 5 into x is 5x and 5 3s are 15 is equal to minus 3y upon minus 15 is equal to 4z upon 16. Now you will observe that we got the required numerators, and then now we are going to apply the theorem on equal ratios. You need to write down that statement. By the theorem on equal ratios, or by the theorem of equal ratios, we are adding all the numerators and all the denominators, and this new ratio is same as the each ratio which is given originally. Okay. And finally, here in the denominator, 15 minus 15 is 0 or cancelled. So you got 16. Okay, so this way you are going to get the answer here. Okay, 16. So this question is already solved in the textbook. This was only explanation for you. Okay, so let us go further now. Second example, which is different here. If a upon 2x minus 2y plus 3z is equal to b upon y minus 2z plus 3x is equal to c upon z minus 2x plus 3y and x plus y plus z is not equal to 0, then prove that each ratio is equal to a plus b plus c upon 2 inside the bracket x plus y plus z. Again observe the question. Here you have a, b and c respectively. And you will see that they are added in the numerator. So that means it is very clear that you are going to use the theorem on equal ratios. Okay. So first of all, write down the given three ratios as k. Assume them as k. So that in the next step, instead of writing all these three ratios, simply you can write down k is equal to, or you can write down each ratio is equal to. There is no need to write down all the ratios again and again. So assume those three ratios as k. Okay. As I have said that here it is added. So immediately you have to make use of theorem on the equal ratios or theorem of equal ratios. So k is equal to, as I have said, why to take k? Here we should not write all these three ratios again and again, because it will become lengthy otherwise. So you can write simply k, because we assumed in the beginning all the three ratios are equal to k. So here we have to add all the numerators in the numerator and all the denominators in the denominator. Okay, so very easy to write down the step. Just put plus sign everywhere, go on writing it. Okay, here also put plus sign and write it. Okay, so here you will observe that in denominator we have some like terms. Like see, this is x plus x and this is 3x. So 1 plus 3, 4. And 4 minus 2, 2x. Similarly, you will find for y also. See, this plus y and this plus 3y. So 4y minus 2y. So again you got 2y. Similarly for z, 3z plus z, 4z minus 2z. So 2z. So what you got here? 2x plus 2y plus 2z. Okay. So we have reduced this now by adding and subtracting the like terms here. So we got a plus b plus c upon 2x plus 2y plus 2z. But please see the question. Here 2 is taken out common. You will find that here 2 is common in all these three terms. So simply in the next step you take out that 2 common and write down the final answer. That is a plus b plus c upon 2 inside the bracket x plus y plus z. And finally you can write down the answer, that original three ratios is equal to the new ratio which we have found out, that is a plus b plus c upon 2 inside the bracket x plus y plus z. Okay, so this way you are going to solve the sums. Only you have to observe what you should do here, what the step to be taken, or if you have to make any changes like we have done in previous sum. So simply by observing what we want to find, we have to go on doing the steps and you are going to get the answer. Okay. Now let us see third one. Solved example. If y upon b plus c minus a is equal to z upon c plus b minus c plus a minus b is equal to x upon a plus b minus c, then prove that a upon z plus x is equal to b upon x plus y is equal to c upon y plus z. Okay. Once again, as I have said, observe what is given to you and what you need to find. So when you observe these two things, what you will find is the variables x, y, z. Here they are in numerator, but here they are in denominator. Similarly, for ABC also you will observe, here they are in denominator and here they are in numerator. So first thing what you should do is invertendo, because we want exactly inverse way. X, Y, Z we want in denominators and A, B, C we want in numerators. Okay. So first of all, write down the given ratios. Okay. And write them by doing invertendo. So see, exactly inverse it is done. B plus C minus A upon Y is equal to C plus A minus B upon Z is equal to A plus B minus C upon X. Now these new ratios which we have found by invertendo, take them as K, assume them as K. Okay. So that we are going to do all the operations now on these new ratios. Okay. Now in the previous question you observed that there is only one ratio, but now you have three ratios. So here theorem on equal ratios you have to apply 3 times. Okay. First you will do Z plus X. Go on observing. Z plus X. That means you are going to add these two ratios. Then next is what? X plus Y. So secondly you are going to add these two ratios. And lastly you have Y plus Z here. So lastly you are going to add the first and the second ratio. Okay. So firstly you will add second and third. Secondly you will add first and third. And thirdly you will add first and second. Okay. So observe here and go on doing. Plus Z plus X. So plus these two ratios. Okay. So by the theorem on equal ratios we will apply 3 times. So write down in common. By theorem of equal ratios or by theorem on equal ratios, the first thing that we want, Z plus X. Okay. So you have to add these two ratios. Okay. Whatever you have here, see, Z plus X. So this C plus A minus B plus A plus B minus C. Okay. So this way you are going to write. Whatever above Z is there you will write first, and whatever above X is there that you will write down second by putting the plus sign in between. So what you will observe here, that certain terms will get cancelled. C plus C and minus C cancelled. Minus B and plus B cancelled. So A plus A, 2A upon Z plus X. This is what the first one. Okay, I have applied the theorem on equal ratios once. Now I will again apply it. Okay. Now what I want? X plus Y. So the numerator above X that I will write first plus the numerator above Y that I will write second. Again you will find the cancellations will be there, plus A and minus A. Got it? Minus C and plus C. So what you got? B plus B, that is 2B upon X plus Y. Again apply it. Okay. So now what you want? Y plus Z. So here also respectively you will write down the numerators putting the plus sign in between. Now again C plus B and minus B got cancelled. Minus A and plus A got cancelled. So C plus T, C 2C upon Y plus Z. So see, all these three, 1, 2 and 3, all these are the values of K. Therefore, we can write down these three values as equal. Okay. So, written equal. Afterwards, you will observe that this 2 is everywhere. So, when we divide by 2, that 2 will get cancelled and we will get our required answer. Okay. I hope you must have understood this question. It is little bit lengthy, but it is not difficult at all. You need to understand what you should do by observing the question here. Okay. And accordingly, if you do, you are going to get the answer. Okay. Let us go further. Fourth sum now solve. Here 14x square minus 6x plus 8 divided by 10x square plus 4x plus 7 is equal to 7x minus 3 upon 5x plus 2. Now these type of sums we have solved in the previous practice set, that is 4.3. So you can apply that method also. This is the first thing to be noted down, that the question is similar. You will observe that question number 4, first one and this one is little bit similar, or second one and this one it is exactly similar. So you can apply that method also. Please take a note that. But to be on safer side, we are using the second method also. That means this sum can be solved by the theorem on equal ratios also. So let us see how to solve it by using the theorem on equal ratio. In exam, you can apply any method, whichever you like. If you want, you can use the first method which we have done in 4.3. Or if you want, you can use this method also by the theorem on equal ratios. Okay. So let us start here. See here, if we observe, what we see that if we multiply these both the two terms by 2x, see, if we multiply 7x by 2x, we are going to get 14x square. If we multiply minus 3 by 2x, we are going to get minus 6x. Okay, that means here we are going to get the same terms. So if we multiply the predecessor and successor of right hand side by 2x, we are going to get the two terms which are same as the predecessor and successor of left hand side. But here, as we have decided or we have seen previously, that this should be a non-zero number. So you have to first ensure that whether here x is equal to 0 or what. If x is equal to 0, that means if left and right hand side is same as right hand side, then you cannot multiply. So we will put here x is equal to 0 on both the sides, and we will check whether both the sides are unequal, and then only we can proceed further. Okay, so we are putting x is equal to 0 on both the sides. So when we put x is equal to 0, here we are going to get 8 upon 7 on left hand side, and here we are going to get minus 3 upon 2. So these are not equal, it's a contradiction. So we can say that x is not equal to 0, and therefore now it is possible for us to multiply by 2x to both the terms of the second ratio or both the terms of right hand side. Okay, so let us multiply by 2x here. So while multiplying, immediately you write down both the ratios equal to k. Okay, and then write down the answer below by opening these brackets. See, first ratio as it is. Here you got 2x into 7x as 14x square, and 2x into minus 3 as minus 6x upon 10x square plus 4x. You will observe that these two terms and these two terms are same. Similarly, these two terms from the denominator are same as these two terms from the denominator. Okay, so now it is possible for you to apply the theorem on equal ratios. But see, here since the sign are same, we are going to write down minus sign in between. Okay, we are going to subtract it. So see, first numerator as it is, and we are doing minus here. So these two signs will change. Plus will become minus and minus will become plus. Similarly, in the denominator, see, first numerator as it is, minus 10x square minus 4x. Okay, so see, this 14x square and 14x square cancelled. Minus 6x plus 6x cancelled. 10x square minus 10x square cancelled. Plus 4x minus 4x cancelled, and we got the value of k as 8 upon 7. Okay, see, only 8 and 7 are left out. So value of k is what? 8 upon 7. Now see the original ratio which we have seen. So in the original ratio, this k is same as what? 7x minus 3 upon 5x plus 2. So write down them as equal and then go for cross multiplication to get the answer. 7 into 7x, 49x, minus 3 into 7, minus 21. 5 into 5x into 8 is 40x, and 2 into 8 is 16. Then you have to equate the like terms. So shift it. 40x is shifted to left hand side. So 49x minus 40x, and this minus 21 is shifted to right hand side. So 16 plus 21. So what we got? 9x is equal to 37, and therefore x is equal to 37 upon 9. Okay. So this way we are going to apply the theorem on equal ratios. Now we will start with practice set 4.4, but that we will start in the next lecture. Okay. Till that, all of you please study the theorem of equal ratios. Try to understand all the solved examples. Also complete the given homework. Okay, students. So today we are stopping here. Okay, thank you, students.